Strange New Worlds finally gives an iconic Star Trek character the story they've waited 59 years for. When Star Trek, the original series, first aired in 1966, it launched a galaxy of memorable characters. Some, like Captain Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy, quickly became household names. Others remained beloved but underserved, their potential left tantalizingly unexplored. One of the great joys of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, has been its ability to revisit this uncharted territory, bringing long overdue depth to characters who have spent decades in the shadows. Season 3 has now delivered a landmark moment. After 59 years, Nurse Christine Chapel finally receives the story she has always deserved. For decades, Chapel has been a curious case in Trek history. Introduced as a compassionate medical officer aboard the Enterprise, she was portrayed by Majel Barrett, an actress who would go on to define Trek's soundscape as the voice of Starfleet computers. In the original series, Chapel's episodes frequently revolved around her loyalty to Spock, her quick thinking in sickbay, or her role as a supportive confidant. Yet the scripts rarely allowed her to step forward as an autonomous protagonist. She was essential, but never central. Strange New Worlds has been steadily correcting this imbalance from its first season. Jess Bush's portrayal of Chapel is a revelation. Witty, brilliant, and emotionally complex. The writers have leaned into her history as a highly trained biologist, expanding her medical expertise beyond the confines of sickbay. Where the 1960s series positioned Chapel as a background caretaker, the modern series treats her as a scientific innovator and an adventurer in her own right. It's a subtle but vital shift, one that culminates in the newest season's standout storyline. Season 3 finally places Chapel at the center of a high-stakes narrative arc, rather than at its periphery. Without giving away every twist, her mission involves a bold medical experiment with ethical implications reaching across the quadrant. The storyline ties directly into her oft-mentioned, rarely seen pre-Enterprise career, showing how her research influences the Federation's future. This is the first time we've witnessed Chapel not just reacting to a crisis, but defining its outcome, navigating Starfleet politics and alien diplomacy with the same authority as a starship captain. It's also a powerful story about identity. The original Chapel was often written as defined by her feelings for Spock, sometimes tender, sometimes tragic. Strange New Worlds doesn't erase that connection but reframes it. In this new arc, Chapel's personal life is an aspect of her character, not her driving force. She wrestles with difficult choices, professional ambition, and the cost of sticking to her principles. For longtime fans, it feels like watching an old friend step into the spotlight after standing in the wings for decades. The show's writers are clearly aware of the meta-narrative at play. In interviews, they've spoken about wanting to honor Majel Barrett's original performance while giving the character agency that wasn't possible in 1966 network television. There's even a clever wink to Barrett's legacy, a scene in which Chapel interacts with a newly upgraded Starfleet computer voice, a subtle nod to the actress's own future contributions. It's the kind of intertextual flourish that Strange New Worlds excels at, balancing nostalgia with reinvention. What makes this arc resonate is that it isn't merely a corrective. It's a celebration. Rather than apologizing for the past, Strange New Worlds builds on it, showing how a character conceived in one era can grow into a hero for another. Chapel's expanded role echoes what the series has done for Captain Pike, Number 1, and even the young James Kirk, characters who were present at Star Trek's birth but never fully realized on screen. Each has been reintroduced with nuance and humanity, but Chapel's journey feels uniquely overdue. This reinvention also enriches the ensemble as a whole. By deepening Chapel's character, the show highlights the collaborative spirit of Star Trek's idealism. She's no longer simply the nurse, but a moral and scientific center of the crew, a counterpart to M'Benga's stoic wisdom and Spock's cool logic. Their dynamic becomes less hierarchical and more like a team of equals, which aligns perfectly with the franchise's progressive ethos. For fans, this moment carries emotional weight. Chapel's new storyline doesn't just retroactively validate her presence on the Enterprise. It transforms her into a model for how Trek can honor its heritage while forging ahead. Viewers who grew up watching reruns of the original series often sense the untapped potential in her character. Seeing that potential realized after 59 years is more than satisfying. It's emblematic of Strange New Worlds' mission to explore, to expand, and to surprise. There's also a ripple effect beyond this single arc. By giving Chapel a rich, ongoing narrative, the writers open doors for other legacy characters who've been similarly sidelined. Could we see deeper explorations of Uhura's early years, or of the rarely glimpsed yeoman cult. Strange New Worlds has proven it can turn a footnote into a headline. Chapel's success story may well become the template for future rediscoveries. In the end, what's most striking is how natural this all feels. Watching Jess Bush,